All right, everyone. Welcome to the stream, guys. You're watching Rome Knows Tech, and I'm your host, Ron Wilkerson. Guys, I'm coming from the city of Houston, down here in the hot and ever so humid state of Texas. But you know, I want to welcome you all right to the stream. Come on in, take your shoes off, relax. Y'all know how we do.
You know how we do, boo.
All right, I see the lovely Terry's already in the house. Welcome, Terry. Welcome to the stream. All right, y'all, we got a lot to get to on this Wednesday. It is Wednesday, right? Yes, Wednesday the 14th. So we, here on this Wednesday, we're going to get to some of the tech that we have listed down in the carousel. Most of these items you guys may have seen before. There might be one or two new things in there. Now, question is, how much time will Rome spend on each one of these products in the carousel? Inquiring minds would like to know. Well, I will spend as much time as necessary for you guys to get a good understanding of what it is the product offers, and if it's going to be something that's going to be perfect for your lifestyle, your projects, your side hustle, whatever the case it may be. You guys let me know what I can do to make that process easier for you guys. All you got to do is drop your questions down in the comments, and I am okay with the occasional dad joke. Just keep them PG, Y'all know how we do. So, yeah. I'm just checking out different platforms right now to make sure we're live on all of the platforms. You guys should be finding us right now on YouTube, over on Facebook, and here on Amazon as well. So let me just take a quick little peek here, making sure everything is the way it should be. Yes, I see it already. All right, so let's get right into it. Terry was the first person in the stream tonight, so Terry gets to choose what it is I'm going to try to create tonight using this laser right here, which is our LP5. Now, you guys know I talk about this laser almost every single night, or the laser that's right next to it, or one of the other lasers. You know, I try to create something in every single stream. Now, I'm going to tell you guys I have limited resources today when it comes to materials. So I have some acrylic. I have some wood. I think I have maybe one coaster. I do have some something that Richard keeps asking me and Renee keeps asking me about, and that is some of these geodes. But I'm going to tell you right now, guys, these geodes are not going to do well under the laser. So Renee, Richard, stop asking. I'm not going to put these geodes under the laser. I know y'all just want to see me blow something up. I know that's what it is. But no. And you remember what happened when I opened this first one, because I went way too far with smacking this thing on the concrete out in the garage, and it just shattered inside of a towel. So I'm going to be a little bit more careful when I get around to actually opening this one. So, you know, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right. So Terry, let us know what is on your mind for tonight. What shall we create with the LP5? I got some wood in the guy right now. Actually, you know what? Let me go ahead and open up the software so we can get ready to rock and roll. Where is my mouse? There it is. All right, so let's go ahead and open our software up so we can get ready to rock and roll whenever Terry gives us an idea of something that she might want to see me create tonight. Oh, is there another update? Come on now. I ain't got time for no updates tonight, y'all. I ain't got no time for no updates, Laser Pecker. So we will not be doing any updates tonight. That's going to have to wait until after the stream. A zebra. Terry says a zebra. Terry says, I'm thinking about mac and cheese. You know what, Terry? It's funny you say that, because I'm thinking about something maybe with mashed potatoes tonight. Maybe like a grilled patty, some cheese, a little bit of, you know, something healthy on the side, maybe, you know, a little mini salad, some vegetables or something like that. That's what I got on my mind right now. Now, what I'll actually make later, that could be completely different. But the mac and cheese thing does sound pretty enticing, Terry. Thank you for putting that brain worm in my head. I still got a lot to get to tonight, and now you got me thinking about mac and cheese. This Stop it, Terry. Behave yourself. All right. So let's go over to our... let's go to our desktop. Boop. Boop. All right, guys. Here is the Laser Pecker Design Studio. design space, should I say. So I'm gonna go ahead and connect to that right now. So you guys should hear that little chirp. There we go. So we are now connected. Let me switch back over to the iPhone so you guys can see that the enclosure inside here is starting to level off. Let me bring that around. So this will automatically level off to some degree if you have the enclosure as soon as you turn it on, but you still need to set the thickness and all that other stuff, you know. So it's not as, you know, automatic as it could be, but it is very, very easy to set the thickness of your material. You're just going to measure that. Use maybe one of these little calibers that you see right here. That's actually what I'm going to use to do this. So let me show you how I measure the piece of wood there and the little cutting bed. You have to measure both of those together in order to get the accurate measurement so that I can enter that into the software here on my desk. So let's get to it. Let's get to it. Terry says a zebra. Zebra. All right, Terry. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. All right, let me get this thing out of here. Hold on. I gotta measure. Oh, shoot. I should have just broke this thing in half. That's what I should have done. So I have to measure the thickness of the wood and the cutting bed together to combine those two so that we get a thickness of these two together. So here's our little metal caliber. I'm gonna zero it out. And this comes up to 10.53, 10.53. 10.53 is the thickness that we're gonna add. So let's switch back over here to our desktop. And you guys should see where I'm gonna add that. I'll show you here real quick. Hold on, let me get this guy back in here. All right, let me align everything back up. All right, so we're gonna do a zebra. A zebra. Let me line this up perfectly so I know we'll be able to cut it out. All right, that's close enough. All right. So right here, I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see this. Maybe not that well. Let me see if I can slide this over a little bit. There we go. So right here, where it says material thickness, we're going to actually enter that number. I think it was 1050 something. I don't remember what it was. I'm just going to make it 11. 11 millimeters is good enough. So what's going to happen now when I click away, let me go ahead and switch back over so you guys can see what will happen. And the bed will rise additionally, you know, to compensate for that. So when I click away from it, there we go. So we're at the 11 millimeters right there. Now I can also turn on the laser so that we can make sure that it's accurate as far as the focus goes. So let me show you guys that real quick in case you're thinking about getting one of these lasers. I want you guys to learn something every single night that you come in here. So I'm going to click on the little cog wheel, go to device settings, mode settings, and turn on our little red light. So that means we can now look inside. Let me show you guys that. We can look inside here. And you should be able to see those two little dots right there. Now it looks like it's still not in focus, so let me see if I can bring that down a little bit. Right about there should be accurate. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's right. Let me go back up. Yeah, that's close enough. So that should be in focus. So now all we have to do is find whatever it is we're going to be working with and bring it into our software. Terry says a zebra. I think Terry's been holding on to that zebra for quite some time. But anyway, let me go over here to the Googles and see if we can find a zebra for Terry tonight. Zebra. Oh, I see my man Richard's in the house. Welcome, Richard. Welcome to the stream. All right, bro. So we are making our first little project tonight. I'm just looking it up right now. Terry says a zebra. I don't know where she came up with this idea, bro, for a zebra, but you know what? I'm going to try to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? All right, so let me go over to the Googles. And let's look for us PNG of a zebra. Maybe something comical. Let's do something cute. Where's the cute zebras? Where's the goofy zebras? There's one. There's one. All right, let me save it. There's our zebra. All right. I think we're good there. So let me go ahead and drag this guy in. Hold on, let me see what's going on with the comments too, because I got to keep my eye on Richard, y'all. Y'all know. All right, so he's just saying hi to Terry. Terry's saying hi to Richard. Terry, your job tonight, Terry, is to keep your eyes on Richard, okay? If you see anything, if you see something, say something, okay? If you see something, say something. I'm just telling you, if you see something. All right, let's get to it. Here we go. Over to the desktop. All right, so let's find our zebra. Where did it go? Where did it go? All right, let's get our zebra over here. Downloads. Where's the zebra, y'all? I probably should delete some of this stuff out of my download folder so I won't have all these crazy things in here like this Hulk bunny that I still have in here from Richard and Easter. Yeah, I still got that in there. Okay, so let me find the bunny. Man, where did it go? Oh, the zebra, my bad. I don't know why I'm thinking bunny already. See what happens? It don't take much for me to get distracted. Y'all can, man, don't act like you don't know. Do not act like you don't know. Where is her zebra? I know I saved it. There it is. Okay, I got it. All right, so let's drag the zebra in. And let's close this folder. All right, Terry, so there is your little zebra. What do you think? You think it's cute? Let me zoom in a little bit on it so you can see it a little bit better. All right, Terry, so let me know what you think. What do you think about your zebra? Cute? Okay, cool. So we're going to engrave this guy on some wood, and then, of course, we're going to cut it out as well. I'm going to make it smaller, though, because I don't want it to be huge. Plus, we don't have a lot of wood, so we got to do some resource management. So a little bit of resource management, okay? So that's about big enough. So on the engraving side, we know what material this is going to be. We're going to be using some wood. So on our wood, we could probably do, just to make sure it engraves it really dark, I'm going to go ahead and leave I'm putting the power down to about 90% power. I don't like to use 100% all the time. And then on the depth, I'm going to set that at roughly about 25% depth. That's still probably more than we need, but we're going to go ahead and do that anyway. And then we're also going to cut this guy out. So now I can just grab this guy. And we're going to go to our outline up here, and we're going to make sure we're not cutting out anything on the inside. We're going to bring that down closer. That is too close. All right, that's pretty good right there. That looks like a good little outline. Okay, let's stick with that. Okay, so now we need to do on our power for that, same laser. We're going to set that at 1 pass, 100% power. Let's do about 90% depth, and we're going to do 3 passes on this guy just to make sure it cuts all the way through. I don't think it's going to need that much power nor that many passes, but we're going to go ahead and run it anyway. All right, so let's go ahead and hit our preview button so we can see where this is falling at on our laser. Let me switch over here so you guys can take a look. All right, so I can see it. I'm not liking the placement. I want it down a little bit further down here. So let me stop the preview, and let me grab this guy and let's drag it down Actually, you know what? Let me just move everything to the center so we can get a better engraving on it. Okay, let's hit the preview again. All right, so there is our, let me show you guys. All right, so that's where it's going to engrave it right there on that wood, and then it's going to cut it out. Okay, so that's what we're working with. Let me move a couple of things back here on the desk so I can get this camera a little bit closer for you guys. All right, let me see if I can put this up here on top of the other laser. Let's do that. All right, so let's tilt this down so you guys can see inside there a little bit better. There we go. Whoops, which way we want to go? The other way? Yeah, there we go. All right, so you guys should be able to see inside right now. So let me go ahead and close the door. Also, let me turn on the air purifier. All right, so our air purifier is turned on. Let's go ahead and get ready to run this job. Let's click next. Continue. And we're going to do Terry's zebra. All right, so it's running right now. Now this shouldn't take very long, but I don't think it's getting as dark as I want it. So I'm gonna run this again before I let it cut. I'm gonna wait for it to go all the way through, and then I'm gonna run it again. So I'm gonna stop it right as it finishes the first pass. And we're gonna engrave it one more time just so it gets much darker. I'm watching you, Richard. Don't think I'm not watching you, bro. Okay, so I just stopped it. All right, so let's go back over here to our desktop here real quick. And I'm going to adjust the engraving power. So we had that set at 90% power. I think we did. I'm gonna bring the depth up higher just so it goes a little bit deeper. Let me take a quick little peek. Okay, so I'm gonna run that one more time just so we know we can get it deeper into this wood. So let's go back. I'm gonna start it. But this time I'm gonna let it go all the way through. I'm gonna let it engrave and then cut. All right, so it's starting to engrave. This should be much darker. You guys might be seeing a little bit of smoke, but our air purifier should be catching that smoke, so we're good to go. All right, so guys, keep track of how long it's taking. As you guys can see, this laser is very powerful and it is super fast. And this is also with me running this a second time, so from start to finish, we only took a few minutes because all I had to do was go and find our design, bring it in as a PNG, set the power, and then decide what we're going to do afterwards, like the cut, to cut it out. So we're at over 60% of the engraving right now. And it's going to speed up here in just a second because it's going to get to some of those smaller parts. All right, so now it's going to start to cut. All right, I think we did 3 passes on this because this wood is very thick. But we have our air purifier on, so that should give us a clean cut. All right, that's pass number 1. We're now into pass number 2. All right, here it comes, We're almost done with pass number 2. And this should be our final pass, pass number 3. And it's a good chance it has already cut through. I'm trying to peek underneath to make sure I can see through the wood underneath the cutting board. All right, guys, it is done. It is done. All right, so let's go ahead and let some of this smoke vacate the air purifier first. All right, let's go ahead and open this door up. I'm gonna turn off the air purifier. We're still getting a little bit of smoke. All right, let's turn off that air purifier. I'm just gonna pop this guy up. Hopefully this cut all the way through. Oh no! It didn't even come close to cutting all the way through. You see smoke? I see smoke too, Richard. Bro, it didn't even come close to cutting through. Let me show you. So check this out. Oops, my bad. So it did really good engraving it, but it did not cut through. So we need more power to cut through this. So I'm gonna run it again so we can cut this little guy out because I want to keep this one. So you guys can see pretty much how it looked engraving it, but we got to run it again. So, all right, let's do it. Let's do it. Let me put it back in here. Hold on. All right, let me frame it up again. Too bad. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. All right, so let me frame it up again. Let's hit our preview. And that looks good where it's at. Okay. So we're gonna go back and let's go to our desktop here real quick. Let's end our preview and let's go to our cut layer here. We're gonna set that at 100 and 100. We're gonna do 3 passes on this. Shoot, let's just do 4 just to be safe. So we're gonna do 4 passes on this guy, so make sure we can cut through it. All right, so we got 100% power. We're gonna be using our 450 nanometer laser. Yeah, let's just go ahead and run it again. All right, let's run it one more time. One more again, one more again. One more again from the hen. All right, here we go. All right, so it is engraving a second time. I don't know if we need to run that engraving a second time. It looks pretty good from where I'm at. Oh, let me turn this air purifier up a little bit. And suck more of that smoke out because you know Richard is going to be talking about the smoke. All right, there we go. We're getting more of the smoke, vacating the enclosure. All right, we're almost done on the engraving. Almost done. There we go. It is done. Now we're going to try to cut it out. All right, let me stop that because that looks way too hot. We just burned our little zebra's head. Okay, so let me adjust that one more time. Hold on. 100 is way too deep. So I'm going to bring that down to 50, but I'm going to do more passes. So we're going to bring our passes up to about 6. And I'm just going to adjust the power here a little bit because 100 is too slow for this wood. All right, so let's go ahead and run that again and see what we get. Okay, this is way too fast. I can tell you already that was way too fast. All right, so let me run it again. So we're gonna bring that power down maybe to about 70, 75% depth, 100% power. Let's run it again. I don't know if that's cutting through because this wood is very thick. I might need far more passes than that to cut this wood. Yeah, I am. I'm gonna need more passes than that. Okay, let's run this one more again. One more again. It's the last time we're gonna do it. So we're gonna run it. Let's do 10 passes. And I'm gonna bring that up to about 80% depth. And we're gonna run it one more time. Let's see what we get. All right, so here we go. If it doesn't make it all the way through this time, I might have to get my hatchet out. I'm looking to see if it's cutting all the way through. Let me get a good angle. All right, it looks like it is cutting all the way through now. All right, we are at the 7th pass. All right, right now we're at the 8th pass. Okay, we got one more pass. All right, it is done. It is done. So this is the last pass. If this doesn't work, we're just gonna have to live with it as it is. So I'm gonna turn the air purifier down or off. And let's open up this door. Let's see what we got. Did it fall through? Yep, it did. Well, kinda. All right, let me grab that out and close that door. So we did burn his ear. Shoot. So I might have to do it again just because we burnt the ear. But I'll show you guys what it looks like. So let's go real quick here to the top down. So this is what it looks like. So we did get our little zebra, but we did burn the ear. You guys see that right there? So I want this to be perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and run it one more time since we have the wood for it. Let me grab a different piece of wood just to make it easier on myself. I got another small piece of wood here that's gonna be easier to line everything up on and see if we can run this and get another version of this. So let's do that. All right, let's line that guy up. Let's go ahead and turn both of them on. Let's hit our preview. All right, we got that right. Let's turn our air purifier back on. Let's go ahead and run it. All right, here we go. This is our last attempt. I would honestly say this was user error. I'll admit that I had the power settings a little off, a little wonky. Wait a minute, what are we talking about? I made spaghetti with homemade meatballs and salad. Oh my goodness. I think that's what I made for dinner the other night, Laura. I'm pretty sure that's what I made for dinner the other night. I made white cheddar mac and cheese with some ketchup on top. I haven't seen that yet, but you know what? I have no problems. I don't know what just happened there. I have no problems experimenting. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I would be willing to try that. I'd be willing to try it with the ketchup. Yeah. I'd give it a shot. Now it's making sense. What's making sense, Richard? What's making sense? All right, so we're starting to cut again. I don't know what Richard's talking about. All right, so here is, we are at number 4. 5, 6. The ketchup, yeah. Yeah, it could work, bro. Don't judge somebody else's food, meals, whatever. Just because you don't like it, don't mean somebody else might not like it. You know what I'm saying? You know, some I know people that don't like ketchup on French fries. You know, they want to put like gravy and other stuff on it. So, you know, don't be judging the people, Richard. Don't judge the people. All right, now I got to run this again because Richard got me distracted and I didn't see if it cut all the way through because I was looking away. So I got to run this, at least some of these passes, just so I can check. All right. It looks like we got a clean cut. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and stop it. Where are we at? At 5. I'm gonna stop it at 5 passes. All right, so this is gonna be the last pass. Right there, I'm gonna stop it. All right, let me turn the air purifier down. All right, so we're good. Let's go ahead and pop this guy open. Let's grab this little piece of wood. Let's hope this cut all the way through. Let me see if I can push it out. All right. So let me show you guys what we got. All right, here we go. There it is. You guys see that? That came out perfect. There's a couple little pieces I need to peel off right there, but I think that came out nice. Let me put this on something so you guys can see it. So y'all let me know what you think. If you think Terry's little zebra came out cool, let me know in the comments. There we go. There we go. All right. All right, let's see, what do we have next in the carousel? So the next item in the carousel, we're not gonna spend a lot of time on this, but the next item in the carousel is actually this phone right here. I do have it listed in the carousel. This is the iPhone 16 Pro Max. This is, you know, the larger of the iPhones. This one has the 3 cameras. This one also has 256 gigabytes of internal storage. It has that new button, you know, for taking photos. I don't really use that. I'm gonna tell you the truth about it. You know, when I do use this for photos or video, I rarely use that button. It just feels to me like it's in an awkward position. But I know a lot of people will love that. So, you know, if that's what you're into, you do you, boo-boo. I have a lot of iPhones here that I use on a daily basis. This is my iPhone 14 Pro Max. My iPhone 15 Pro Max is this phone right here that I use as a, you know, as an alternate camera to be able to show you guys things here in the studio. And then this is the iPhone 16 Pro Max. So a lot of Apple products here in the Rome studio. But if you're already in the Apple ecosystem, guys, this is going to be a win. So definitely take a look at this phone. But I'm pretty sure there will be a new model coming out pretty soon. But if you can't wait, I'm telling you, this is a very good phone. It has a much more powerful camera built into it, all that jazz. So definitely take a look. Good price as well, unlocked here on Amazon. All right, so let's get to our next item. Now, you guys know I've been rocking it out, talking a lot about live streaming gear. Now, this has become one of my favorite devices. This is from our friends over at Ozbot. This is the Ozbot Talent. This is a 5.5-inch screen, all metal frame. Let's take this down to the desk so I can show you guys what this actually is. Here we go. All right, guys, so this little device right here, as you guys can see, you can actually use, you know, hardwired. You can use 2 full-size HDMI, 1 USB-C one USB-A on this side. You have Ethernet underneath here. You have a full-size SD card you can install here. You can use that for recording or playing back content. You also have a USB-C out. You could use that for a number of things, like connecting it to perhaps another monitor. It does come with an AC plug, and that's a 12-volt, 1.5 amp. You can also use the Sony MPF batteries that you guys see here. On the opposite side, we have line in, mic in, headphone jack, and we have an additional USB-A on this side and the power button. So let's go ahead and just power this guy on, because we will need this turned on to demo some of the other stuff that we're going to be showing related to this bundle. Now, what's cool about this bundle, guys, is that it comes with everything you need. Everything you need to get started. Such things as Father's Day still, wow. Yes, a lot of people still celebrate Father's Day and Mother's Day, and I'm not gonna say that I'm a big fan of that. I don't really expect a lot for Father's Day. I've been a father for a very long time, but it's not a holiday that I go out of my way, trying to get my family and friends to celebrate. But anyway, so in the bundle, guys, you're going to get 2 of these cameras here. This is the Osbot Tail Air. This is a 4K camera. It can record and can internally record up to 60 frames a second. Now, you can install a micro SD card in here. You also have a micro HDMI right here. USB-C here. You can also plug in line in for a microphone. It does have built-in microphones. This bundle comes with 3 of these cameras, not these little tripods, but it comes with the camera. So let me go ahead and just power one of these guys on. I don't think we need all of them for this demo, but I want you guys to see how easy this is. Now, I'm going to be running these wirelessly. I'm using SRT, but you can also use them wirelessly using NDI. Now, NDI does require an additional license in order for you to do that. All right, so let me also find the remote for this camera. And I'm going to grab another camera that we're going to talk about here in just a second. But I need to find the remote for this guy so I can show you guys everything that the remote can do. So let me grab that. So in that same bundle, you're actually going to receive this remote right here. Now, this remote can control up to 3 different cameras. All 3 cameras can have 3 separate presets. You have people tracking. You have a laser pointer right here. So let me see, make sure I turn this on. You can actually use this as a laser pointer. You guys see we got the little laser right here on the desk. And if this is in the line of sight of the camera, it can be used as a way of focusing and zooming in, okay? Then you also have pet tracking. It has a joystick control right here. So this should be camera number 1 that's right here. So now I can use the joystick, as you guys see, to move the camera head around. I can bring it up, I can bring it down, and of course I can also put the camera in tracking mode. Let me move my hand out from in front of this little screen so you guys can see. So you're getting video right now from this camera straight to the talent, and you guys can see here I can move this around. I can also zoom in and zoom out. It does have a rocker switch here on the side. That's going to let me, zoom in on myself, or perhaps, I don't know, maybe a product or something that I want to take a look at or get you guys to take a look at, so we can zoom in on that as well. So yeah, it has a lot of built-in features, guys, a lot of built-in features. So I see Hope over on YouTube right now. Hope is saying that our little zebra is cute. Thank you, Hope. All right, so but anyway, like I said, guys, this is a really nice little bundle. Everything that you need, pretty much, all in this kit. So you're going to get the talent. You're going to get 3 of these cameras that you guys see here, and it just all works perfectly together. Now, what's cool about this little tablet here, guys, you can set this up a lot like OBS or one of those platforms. So what I mean by that is you have audio controls here. You can control all the audio coming in to this device, whether it's from the cameras or from pre-recorded content on the SD card, or maybe even a web source. You can control that if you want to use like web graphics. You can have individual scenes, like you can have a startup scene. Maybe you also want to have, for instance, a countdown timer. All of those graphics are built into this device. Now, some, of course, you got to have your own startup scene, like I have here, which is just a graphic I created in Photoshop. But it's basically the same thing, and you can turn these things on and off. You can also have web graphics as another example. So let's turn that off. Go back to this video source here, and I can turn on my web graphics. Just a quick little click like that. And let's turn that one off, and there we go. So now we have our little banner, a little lower third banner right there that says Rome Knows Tech. As you see, it has a live clock right here at the top that's counting down the time. So if I was streaming from this device, it would look a lot like my previous live stream setup, before I changed everything here recently. But anyway, like I said, guys, very, very powerful little kit. Everything in this bundle, you can get it right now. It is $28.23 for the 3 cameras, the remote, and also the talent. Okay, now if you want these Sony batteries, you will have to buy those separately. Now, the next camera that we have is actually Ozbot's newest camera, and that's this guy right here. This is the Tail 2. So if you're going to compare these two in size, you can see the Tail 2 is significantly larger than the Tail Air. Both of these cameras have a lot of the same similar features. They're both PTZ cameras, but this is actually a PTZ-R camera. That means that this head here can actually rotate internally. So if you want to switch between 9x16 and 16x9, you could just use your smartphone app and you'll be able to switch back and forth through that. This one has a larger sensor. You can also, just like the other one, install an SD card. But look here on the back, you have all of your full-size connections. Okay, so you have your line in, mic in, full-size HDMI. You have your RS 232s. That's going to be for your PTZ controller. You have SDI here. You have Ethernet here as well. And you also have a USB-C and also power into this guy as well. So we're going to go ahead and power this guy on. All of them have a 1/4-20 underneath them, so they're really easy to mount them onto, say, for instance, a like a little tripod or something like that. So we're going to give this guy a chance to turn on. I do already have this connected with SRT, and I also have it connected to this remote. So we're going to go ahead and let this guy power on. And let's see, where should we put this camera? Let's put it up somewhere high so we can see what it can do. So I'm just going to put it up here. I'll show you guys where I have it. So let me switch over here real quick. All right, so you guys can see that camera is sitting up here now on top of the laser. The other one is just right here on the desk. And then we have the talent right here on the desk as well. The other one is over on this back desk back here. I just don't have that one turned on. I don't think we need all of them turned on for this demonstration, but I'm just kind of giving you guys an idea of how I have it currently set up here in the studio, okay? So what we're gonna be doing now is we're gonna be switching back and forth between these different cameras and also showing you how easy it is with the remote to be able to switch. So that's camera number 3, so I would just switch over to 3 as you guys see here. And then now I can also control, see if I can get that up high enough, so I can also control this camera. I can also put it in people tracking. So we have that tracking button here. If I press that button, now it's going to start tracking me. So now if I move around, as you guys see, the camera is now following me pretty much wherever I go. And if you look down here at the monitor and I'm still moving around, the camera is following me. Now, what's cool about having this remote is that I can also turn the tracking off by just pressing the same button. So I can press my human tracking here again, and it should switch this guy off. And then it should go back to its normal mode here in just a second. Go back. There we go. All right, so now I could, do that, or I could grab one of these preset buttons. You can program up to 3 different presets on here as well. So let me show you guys. That's preset number 2. I think I only did preset 1, so I think I only set up 1 preset on here. But it's not difficult to adjust these presets, so really easy. All right, so let's go back to our top-down view. So you can actually get that camera right there with this remote. Now this remote normally comes bundled with one of the Tail Airs, or, you know, in this bundle, but you can actually purchase the Tail 2 with the remote. And I think that's going to be a great combination, guys, you know, especially if you're going to be running and gunning and want to be able to, you know, quickly adjust things, because you guys can see here's our talent down here. I can quickly zoom in on myself and make sure I'm on the right camera. I'm not on the right camera. Hold on. I'm not on the right screen. That's what's going on. All right, so this is the screen that I should have been on. So let's go ahead and bring that camera back up and back down. There we go. There I am. Let's zoom out like so. Now, what's cool about this is that you can just tap here, and I can move these two right next to each other. So that way I can switch back and forth between the two different camera angles. Or I can also do a picture-in-picture if I wanted to, you know, where I could bring in this other camera, or even if I was, you know, talking about, you know, my little cooking video here, I can just press on here real quick. I can go to edit, and then I can add another camera. So we're going to add one of these SRT cameras. Let's go with this one right here. And then I can just move this off to the side like so, hit save. And now we'd have that video playing over in that corner. Well, that's a bad spot for it. So let me move it again. Let's move the camera over here, or maybe down here. Yeah, let's put it down there. And also while I'm over here, let's also adjust the frame. And let's adjust the corners. Let's kind of round it off just a little bit like that. Okay, that's good enough. Let's hit save. And now we have the picture-in-picture down here at the bottom of the screen. I forgot we have those lower thirds on here, but you guys get the idea. You get the idea. It's real easy to set this up, guys. So now I can also easily switch back over to one of the other camera angles. So if I'm talking, you know, doing a live stream or even content creation, I did a video earlier today talking about how easy it is to set up these cameras, you know, for product videos, having multiple camera angles, and while you're recording and talking about the product, you can just switch, you know, back and forth to different angles. Now, Ozbot also has smartphone app that you can use to control this as well. So you have a lot of flexibility when it comes to this. Now, these cameras that we've talked about so far are not the only cameras that you can use with this kit, guys. You can actually use wired cameras. Now, here's another camera from Ozbot. This is the Tiny 2 Lite, and this one here is the Tiny 2 SE. So this is the 1080p variant, and this is the 4K variant of the same camera. But you guys see they're almost identical, except one is 4K and the other one is 1080p. This one also has the same tracking capabilities. It cannot do any internal recording. You will have to plug this in using a USB cable, just your standard USB-C to USB-A. Unless you're using an adapter, which would be USB-A to USB-C, however you want to set it up. But this one has, you know, pan, tilt, zoom controls on it as well. There is a remote that's available for this one as well. Unfortunately, this remote right here will not work for this specific camera. But like I said, if you're interested in just getting started, maybe you're looking for a small webcam, that's going to be an excellent little camera to start off with, and it's only $99. So check that out as well. Now, when it comes to audio, you guys know my Rodecaster setup here in the studio is kind of my ride or die, which is this microphone that you guys see right here. This is my everyday microphone, but sometimes, you know, it's not as convenient to have this type of setup taking it out on location with you, right? So if I was going to be going out somewhere, you know, doing a live stream using all of this gear, one, I would have to take this big microphone with me. I'd have to take the Rodecaster with me, and all of that's going to be packaged, and, you know, I need, you know, multiple cases and all of that stuff. So you can use smaller, more compact microphones. Here are some microphones from our friends over at Anchor. These are the Anchor M650 wireless microphones. Now, what's nice about these guys is that you actually get two microphones, and you also get the receiver. So you're going to get 2 omnidirectional microphones. You can use these same microphones with your iPhone, with your Android phone, or whatever device it is that you want to use them. It has the adapters for them. Or you can use the included cable, 3.5 cable, and plug them in right here on the Talent. You guys see we got that little 3.5 right there for a line or a mic. So if we plug that in, we'll get audio coming in off of this receiver. All of this stuff, guys, is going to easily fit into a travel bag, a backpack, a laptop bag, whatever the case is going to be, you know, and you'll be able to take this stuff with you on the plane, take it with you on a trip. All of these cameras are very, very compact, very travel friendly. And this new camera right here is a literal rock star, guys, all of the features that it has. Now, one thing I would like to see, and I don't know if they're going to have that coming out later, these cameras here actually have ND filters, but I have not seen any ND filters for this one so far. I see Joyce is over on YouTube. Thank you, Joyce. Thank you very much. If you want to come over and hang out with us over on Amazon, you're more than welcome. Or just stay over on YouTube. I can see your chat. And it is also showing up here on the screen so everyone can see, you know, what you're saying, and hello to you, everyone. If you guys want to jump over or jump back and forth between the different, you know, platforms, you're more than welcome to. All right, so now we're still talking about live streaming gear. So we have our Talent right here. Now, one thing that the Talent can do that I probably did not mention is that you can actually use this in a vertical orientation, right? So I can go here and I can switch shows. So I can go and choose, for instance, my 9x16 show, and that's going to set this show up for Instagram, for TikTok, or something like that. And of course, I can use all the same cameras, all the same devices, whatever the case it is. It's going to be a very, very similar type of setup. Now, again, like I said, what's nice about this camera is that it can rotate into 9x16, which is going to be great because then you can have full frame coverage of that camera. Now, these little cameras here, you will have to turn them sideways if you want them to have that orientation, or you can just crop in on them if you need to. So that's an option as well. But you know, what's nice about this device is that I can easily go back. I can easily just go back to my previous show. So I go to my show list here, and here is my other show. It's just going to switch back over, and then all I got to do is rotate this guy around, and you know, we're good to go. Now, you can't switch back and forth between shows while you're streaming, but it is a nice convenience to be able to do that. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys one more little tablet, and you guys can probably see that back there. That is from our friends over at YOLO Live. This is the YOLO Live in-stream, and I was charging this up earlier, so I'm going to show you guys how this thing works. It is similar to the Talent, but this one is designed primarily for portrait style live streams. So let me show you guys, well, live streams, recording, monitoring, all of that jazz. So first, let me switch back over here real quick, and let me grab it and show you guys. Let me put some of this other stuff away, because my desk is a mess. My desk is a mess. Drones everywhere. Drones everywhere. All kind of crazy stuff. Okay, so I'm going to put both of these on the desk so you guys can kind of see what these look like in comparison. So let me switch back over here real quick. All right. So this is the in-stream that we're just talking about. Let me go ahead and highlight it in the carousel. So right now you can get the in-stream here on Amazon for $998. Now this one also will take a full-size SD card. This one also takes a SIM card, so you can actually use like your cell phone provider to stream. The Talent does not take a SIM card. You'd have to use like a hotspot or Wi-Fi or Ethernet. This one has line in, mic in as well, and it also has a headphone jack right here. On the opposite side, you guys can see we have two HDMIs, two full-size HDMIs right here. We have our USB-A 3.0. We have our Ethernet right here. And then we have full-size HDMI out. If you want to connect this to a monitor, you can. And you also have a USB-C right here for charging this guy up. Let's go ahead and turn it on real quick, and I'll show you guys what this is like. And we're going to go to our top-down camera so you guys can see this up a little bit better. All right, so this is the device. We're just waiting on it to power up so I can show it to you guys a little bit closer up. It takes a few minutes for it to power up. But what's nice about this is an Android-based tablet, guys. It's going to actually run the real applications just like you would on your phone. Okay, so what I mean by that is, let's say if I go to Instagram, this is going to go to my real Instagram, the same Instagram that I would see on my phone. So if I wanted to live stream to Instagram and also live stream to TikTok or whatever the case it would be, I would just, choose one of those. And then I could go here to these different layers and I could choose an app. So let's say my first app is going to be Instagram. So we got Instagram right here. Then I could choose a second app on this device, and that could be TikTok. And I could use the same camera, the same everything by just plugging it into this device, and it's going to be easy to go. So you have two HDMI inputs here, one USB input. You also can go in and set up your little picture-in-picture. You can bring in video from an SD card. So if you have your SD card in there and you have video pre-saved on here, you can bring that video in. You can also attach a portable hard drive to this as well. A lot of things you can do with this, guys. So all of this gear, in a nutshell, guys, is designed for you guys to be able to create content on the fly in your home, office, man cave, she shed, whatever the case is going to be. It's very portable. It's really, really reliable. I mean, this thing right here, I know some of these items are a little bit on the pricier side, but guys, I'm telling you, once you get monetized and you start making money on these different platforms, these devices would have paid for themselves if for nothing else but the convenience of being able to have access to all of these cool features that you'll be able to use. Now, this is larger than the Talent. I want you guys to see that. So the screen on here is much larger than the Talent. Now, YOLO Live does also have another device. It's called the YOLO Box Mini, and the Talent is about the same size as the YOLO Box Mini. This right here is about the same size as the YOLO Box Pro. Let me see if I have the YOLO Box Pro laying around here somewhere. Yeah, I do. Okay. So this is the YOLO Box Pro, okay? And you guys can see it's very similar, but it's much larger than the Talent, but it basically does the same thing. You can connect multiple HDMI devices to this. You can, HDMI in, HDMI out, SD card, SIM card, big touch screen, a lot of the other features that we talked about. All of those are built into these different devices. So it really just depends, guys. It really just depends 100% on what it is that you're trying to create, what type of cameras you need. A lot of times you can just start off, like I highly recommend starting off with something like your phone. Your phone, maybe some wireless microphones or even a wired microphone. It does not have to be something as expensive as this Rode Procaster. You can find microphones from a variety of different brands. I'm planning on doing next week, or maybe even this weekend, a very, very budget setup for people who are just getting started live streaming, content creating. I'm talking budget microphones, budget cameras, budget lights, like a lot of the lights in here. Now, if you're new to the stream and you guys don't really know who I am, I have been a professional photographer, a cinematographer for over 30 plus years. So yes, I already had a lot of equipment getting started before I ever started streaming here on Amazon and other platforms, 3 years ago or whenever it was. So I was very, very familiar with a lot of the setups. So yes, that transition was much easier for me, and I want to make it super, super easy for you guys, even if you don't yet have the budget, and I mean yet, because trust me, I have the utmost confidence in the fact that you guys will be successful as content creators, as live streamers. Even if you don't want to show your face, okay? You can do a ton of content, guys, that's just showing your hands, just showing yourself, manipulating something, talking about something, demonstrating something, and you never have to show your face if you don't feel comfortable showing your face. There's a ton of very successful influencers here on Amazon, on YouTube, and on so many other platforms that literally the only thing you know about them is they got some really nice nails, okay? And that's male or female. But anyway, like I said, a lot of this tech, guys, I try to bring you guys the best tech that I have access to so that you guys can kind of have an educated insight on a lot of this stuff. It's always here. So if you want me to demo something, the lasers, you guys know I got like 5 or 6 different lasers right here in the immediate area. And if you guys are new and don't know what I'm talking about, let me show you real quick. So we are kind of in my little man cave, my little, home studio. So we have the Laser Pecker 5, which is our, diode laser, fiber laser, 20 watt. We have the older version over here, which is the Laser Pecker 4. We got all the little rotary chucks. We have X-Tool lasers here as well. This is the 4-in-1. This is the X-Tool M1 Ultra, with the printer, the cutter, 10 watts, all of that kind of jazz. We have solar powered batteries if you guys are looking for, a power source when you're going camping or something like that. We have our much larger, more powerful lasers back here, like this Akia 48 watt laser. We got some budget lasers back here as well from our friends over at Lunger. I think this is the Lunger something Pro. I can't remember which model this is, but I got it a couple of weeks ago and I did some testing on it. It is a very good laser for it to be a budget laser. And all the stuff you see there on the desk comes with the bundle, guys. You get the rotary chuck, you get the slide extension, you get the laser, you get the shroud, all of that kind of stuff. So again, very, very powerful device. Drones, we got all the drones here. We have DJI Air 3S. We have the 00 Robotics Hover Air. We have some budget drones around here somewhere. Here's one from our friends over at Start RC. They sent this out for me to play with. I think I'm gonna give that drone away. Hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, one of those, YouTube or whatever it is. Because some of this stuff, guys, honestly, I'll review it once or twice, or I'll show it or I demo it, like, the drone that's about to come up. And then I, for the most part, never use this stuff again. So I would love, 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 somehow to get this into some of your hands. How we do. All right, so we got a few more things left in the carousel that we're going to talk about. One is this little portable battery. I don't know if you guys can see it back there, but I got to grab that guy and take it over to the desk. So let me do that. All right, so this guy... let me get it. All right, so this guy came in a couple of days ago. I did charge it up. I have charged a few things off of it. This is from J&J Esther. This is a very powerful little portable power bank. You have two USB-A's, two USB-C's. This also has a 3-prong AC plug built into it. It's got one of those nice little camping lights. Let me show you guys here. So you got your steady light, you press it again, you got a strobe, and you also have an SOS feature for this. So this is a good little camping light as well. And I like the fact that you can see inside of it, all of the electronics. It has a little LCD right here on the front that'll tell you which mode that you currently have it in. Very travel friendly. Now it is all plastic, I'll admit that, so there's no soft pieces on here, but you don't get that cheap plastic creak. When you squeeze something and you hear it, you make that little weird sound, like when Richard runs over somebody's feet, you don't hear that with this. This is, as solid as it can be for this, type of plastic. So right now you can get this guy right here on Amazon, guys, for $89.99, unless Richard has found a coupon for it. But this feels really nice in the hand. It is very well built. So if that's something that you guys might be looking for, definitely take a look at this. You can find it down in the carousel. I use a lot of these batteries. You guys can see I got a bunch of Blue Yeti batteries back there. My whole studio, for the most part, runs off of battery power. I have a larger Blue Yeti battery directly underneath my desk. I have a large Geniverse battery back here that runs some of these lasers and these other lights back here. So I am a huge fan of portable power, especially any of these batteries that can charge off of a solar panel. Man, that is a win, babies. That is a win. All right, let's keep rolling. If anybody has any questions, let me know down in the comments. Even over on YouTube, I am monitoring the chat over on YouTube as well. So if you do have any questions, drop it down in the comments and I will do my best to answer them. Let's see, what do we got next? So next, people are going to ask about this chair. I'm just going to tell you guys, this is a nice gamer chair. It's got this really nice little arm adjustment here. You can raise this up and you can kind of prop your arm up on this guy on both sides. So maybe if you're doing like some, gaming or whatever it is, and you want your arms to be able to relax, or maybe you want to pretend like you're a dinosaur or something. So I don't know. I mean, everybody's different. Everybody's different. Everybody's different. But if you're a dinosaur and you got those little short dinosaur arms, this might be this might be perfect for you. You're like, play the game, play the game. Okay, you do you, boo boo. Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, that mask is hot. It is hot, my babies. So do not wear those kind of masks down here in Texas. You will literally pass out. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just because you see me do it, don't do it. Trust me, don't do it. All right. All right, y'all know I'll be losing my mind up in here. Do the drones float? I'll be at the beach. No. Okay, so there are some accessories that will allow your drone to land on water. There are some water drones as well, but most of those drones, joists, are going to be used for fishing. So you actually have some of the older style drones that you can use to take the bait way out there, by the Kraken, right next to the Kraken, and you could drop the little bait out there because you want to try to reel in, a big fish or something. And those drones can land in water and they can take off from water. But most drones, like the ones that we're going to be taking a look at in here, for the most part, don't land in water. But like I said, you can get, water props, but I do not recommend that at all. Landing your drone on water is a no-no, because woo, it will cost you. It will cost you if you land that drone in some water. You send your $2,000 drone out and land it on the lake or something, it's gonna be a bad day. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna be a bad day. But this little product right here also might be something you guys might want to take a look at, because if you're like me, you have a backyard, man cave, she shed, whatever it is out there, but every once in a while you might want to have the family and friends over and you want to do a movie night. Maybe you want to bring the neighbors over or something like that, and you want to have the big screen projection. Okay, so what this is not a projector. What this is an HDMI transmitter receiver. So you can take something like one of those bigger projectors, plug this guy in, plug it into your tablet, plug it into your computer, whatever the case it might be, and then you can broadcast. You can broadcast, to great distances. Now, this is also going to be great for gamers. It's going to be great for conferences. It's going to be great for weddings. Maybe you're a wedding videographer, cinematographer, throughout the day. You want to also broadcast, on the big screen, some of the photos or video that you've taken of the bride, the groom, and everyone else throughout the day while you're still taking other photos. You could use something like this because this is very, very plug and play. So let me show you guys what you get in the box while I'm trying to remember to also turn everything else off. All right, so let's go down to the desk. Make sure I turn this thing off. Is this thing off? Yeah, it's off. Okay. That camera's off. And let me also turn this camera off, because I'm telling y'all, I forget every time, and I'll walk out of here and I'll hear something chirping later and I'll be trying to figure out what's going on. See, I forgot to turn this off too. And I know Richard be watching back the video, the live stream, and he'd be sending me messages on Instagram. He'd be like, bro, you know how many things you left on tonight? And I'll be like, no. I'll be like, no, I don't know, Richard. I have no idea. But anyway, here is our HydroFlow. Here is your transmitter. This is your transmitter and this is your receiver. These have full-size HDMI, so you can plug that in something like the Talent or a YOLO box or whatever device it is, depending on if you're going to be transmitting or receiving to it. You can also use this with your monitor, or television, whatever. Now, if you do need different adapters, it does come with a set of adapters. It comes with a micro HDMI to full-size HDMI, comes with a USB-C to full-size HDMI adapter. These are very slim, like I said, plug and play, but they do require power. So you guys might be able to see there, you do have to provide power to each one of these. So that's when things like that battery we just looked at, or these little portable batteries like this, you know, really come in handy when it comes to, you know, being able to power some of this stuff, especially if you're going to be out there doing what you do, when you do it, what you do. You know how we do, babies. Y'all know how we do. All right, let's see what we got next. So here is Richard's favorite product, okay? If I say Richard, Richard, what do you want me to talk about tonight? Richard be like, the fog machine, bro. The smoke. Rome, we need that.
Smoke in the city. Cause, you know, Richard be like, yes, we need the smoke. The smoke, babies. The smoke. Yes.
All right, so if you are not setting things on fire in your home, office, or studio using a laser like I do most of the time, especially the way I used to do a couple of years ago before I had these air purifiers, and you want to still look like you can do this, this right here, guys, is from our friends over at Cobor. This is the CF5. This is a portable fog machine. Let me go ahead and power this guy up here real quick. Has a nice little LCD right here. Let you know all, you know, what level you have the fog set at, the fan set at. You have these two buttons here to raise or lower the intensity. You also have a little button here on the side that you can rotate this guy 60 degrees. So if you wanted to do like that dry ice effect on something, you could do that. So since we already have this on, and if I don't do this, I know I'm going to hear about it later. So I'm going to go ahead and do it and just get it out of the way. Let's do this thing. Okay. So the fog juice that goes in here, it comes with 60 milliliters. Where is it? Oh, there we go. So you get 60 milliliters of this fog juice right here. And you guys can see I've used very little of this, but I use this thing literally every single day. All right, so let's put some smoke in the city. And yes, Richard loves it. And I think Terry loves it when I put this thing on my head. I don't know why they like it so much when I put the smoke on my head. But anyway, here we go. I put the smoke on my head, make it look like I got a little smoke crown, and I can just let this thing do what it do. It has no smell whatsoever. I mean, you could just, you know, maybe you're doing a video where you want to make it look like you're angry about something or something, and you just got smoke just like, that Richard, whoo, he be making me mad, y'all. There's smoke going everywhere. But anyway, this thing is amazing, guys. It is amazing. And no, I did not buy this myself. Like a lot of this tech, people did send this stuff to me. But this guy right here, I would have bought this myself. No problem whatsoever. And it comes with another head. So you can take this head off right here. It comes with another head. I just dropped that drone. So anyway, so it comes with this second little head right here that has a little LCD light built into it. So let's go ahead and pop this guy on. There you go. All right, so as you can see, I don't know how well you guys can see that, but it has a little red light right there. So that's for the additional fan that's in this head. So I can go ahead and raise that up. You guys can probably hear that on the microphone. Y'all can probably hear that. Okay, so when I press the M button again, now it's in color mode. So now I can go in and I can change the color. You're just kind of going through the RGB spectrum. You know, you just hold it long enough, it'll go through to whatever color you want it to be. Now, what's cool about that is that now I can run this, and not only do we get the fog, but we also get that cool light effect in the background, guys. That is so cool, okay? So yeah, if you're doing some product video or maybe even just doing some photography, you want a little haze in the room, you know, because you're doing like some environmental photos or something like that. This is so easy to just go in. You don't have to buy cans of spray anymore. You know, you can literally use this thing, you know, like a big giant, you know, portable vape. And you can just run around with this and put fog pretty much anywhere. It comes with a nice little travel case. Like I said, it comes with both of these heads, so you can use them pretty much however you want to. Yep, it's a win. It's a win. You know what I'm saying? All right. What do we got next? All right. So somebody was asking about drones, so let's talk about drones for a minute. So here is a very budget-friendly, I can't call this budget, but we're going to say this is a very portable drone. Now, this is from 00 Robotics. That is this little foldable drone right here. This little guy, guys, now different from like my big drone, let me grab the other one too. So my DJI Air 3S, this is a more professional consumer drone, prosumer drone, 2 cameras built in it. We'll talk about this guy here in a second. But anyway, this little guy right here has 2 axis gimbal built into it. It is foldable. As you see, in comparison to the size of my phone, it's actually smaller than my phone. It's thicker than my phone, but it's smaller than my phone, right? Now, this guy also has a bunch of presets. Let me show you here. Blah, 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 blah. Come on. There we go. All right, so we got a bunch of little presets here. I'll show you once we power this on. So you only have 2 buttons here. This first button right here is just gonna turn it on. You'll see the little green light switch on right there. And then this top button here is gonna give you the ability to switch to these different modes. So you have a bunch of little presets here. The propellers are protected from, bumping into something, which is pretty cool. So anybody can fly this. Kids can fly this. Richard could fly this. Well, maybe not Richard, but most kids could fly this. Adults alike. If you want to have a flying camera that you can use to record yourself or take some cool photos of yourself down at the beach. Maybe not in the gym, but if your gym is liberal like that, you might be able to get away with it in the gym. But anyway, we have a mode set right here, so I'm just going to press this button one time. We're going to just get this guy to hover for 30 seconds. It's just going to hover right here in the studio. Here we go. Boop, just like that. All right, so let me switch over. All right, so you guys can see it is literally hovering right here in the studio. It's trying to track me. It's following me. Y'all see that? It's following me around. So as I move, it's moving with me. Okay. Now those are things that you would set up in the smartphone app. And when you're ready for this thing to land, all you gotta do is put your hand out like this, and it'll just land right into your palm, just like that, guys. And like I said, you can go through all of these other little presets, like, it has like a orbit, it has a follow, it has so many other little built-in features. Now, this does not use a controller, but you can actually program a controller. You can buy one here on Amazon. It's called the 8-Bit Do. 8-Bit Do is the name of the controller. It's kind of like a little gaming controller, and you can set this up that you can control it with that. But also with the smartphone app, there is, like a joystick controller through the smartphone app to, control some of the basic functions of this little drone. So definitely check that out. Right now, this is $399. That does come with 2 batteries and also the charger. And like I said, very nice little portable drone. So definitely check this guy out. All right, so my next drone is our DJI Air 3S. Now, this is my everyday commercial drone that I use for a lot of my client work. Of course, this is going to be a much larger drone. This has 2 cameras built into it. It has a 70mm camera, and it also has a 24mm camera. This guy has obstacle avoidance all the way around 360. It has a landing light. This drone can fly up to 60 miles an hour. Okay, no, it cannot land on water without special equipment, but there are rain suits that you can buy that I've seen people fly these drones in the rain all the time. I'm just not that brave. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I am not that brave to fly this in the rain, but you can. Now, this drone here that I received did come with the Fly More combo. So that means you're going to get 3 batteries with it as well. So you get 3 of these very, very long batteries. These things, one battery you can fly about 45 minutes depending on the weather conditions. And I don't know where my controller went. There it is. So you also get the RC2 controller. This is, a 5.5 inch screen controller. It has 4 antennas, 2 internal, 2 external. You have these programmable buttons on the back. You have a full screen. Let me see if I can open this up without dropping everything. All right, so there is the screen. There's your joystick controller. And check this out. Today, DJI just gave us a firmware update that now there is a simulator, a drone simulator, flight simulator now on this controller. So you can practice flying your drone without ever having to put your drone in the air. If you're new to this, and you're not comfortable flying your drone yet, you know, because you're afraid it's going to crash, even though these have a lot of safety features built into them. It's a very smart drone. I get it. I get it. I was there too. So you can sit there on the couch, guys, sit out at the coffee shop somewhere with just your controller and practice flying your drones. So there you go. From DJI. Always innovating, guys. Always innovating. Now, right now, this guy is $21.99 for the drone, the battery, for the Fly More combo, and a bunch of the other stuff that comes with it. And no, I will not be flying it here in the studio because that I tried that one time and that was a bad day, because this thing, I didn't think about the fact that it has, you know, obstacle avoidance, and it's a whole bunch of stuff around me. So this thing did not want to land, and I kept trying to reach up to grab it. And every time I would reach up for it, it would just go up higher, and I would reach up and it would go up higher till it was literally trapped on the ceiling. And I had to climb up on the desk over here and then climb up and drag this thing down. But luckily I was smart enough to turn the cameras away before I had to do that, because Richard would have made a blooper of me. And Richard makes bloopers of me almost every single day. If you guys are not already following Richard over on TikTok, I'm telling you guys, you are missing out. Richard be dropping the, man, you know, every single day. There's not a day that go by that Richard don't come up with a new blooper of me. He'll send me the link and I just be like, okay, bro, okay, let me go check it out. I'm gonna tell y'all, about a week ago, I was up late, okay? I spent about an hour watching bloopers of myself that Richard had created. They are literally that funny that I was sitting there watching myself and laughing and then go to the next one. So, you know, if you're into funny things, if you like to laugh, you definitely want to follow my man Richard over on TikTok. All right, what do we got next? We don't have too many things left, so let's go ahead and roll on through those. Both of these we already talked about for the most part. This is a power bank right here from our friends over at Ugreen. You can get this guy right now for $49.99. This is a 100-watt power brick. You will need something like that, especially if you're going to be charging these batteries, because these batteries are very high demanding to charge all of them. And this smart charger does help you out a lot. It has a lot of cool features, including, let's say you've been out flying all day and all of your batteries are down to, you know, whatever the lower power is. You can put all the batteries in here. And what this smart charger will do is it will transfer the power from the other two batteries to whichever battery has the most power. So maybe you can get one more flight in or something like that. But when it comes time to charge everything, you are going to need a minimum of a 60 to 100 watt charger, and that would be this guy right here. From Ugreen, you have 3 USB-Cs, 1 USB-A. I love that this thing has the little foldable little prongs here, because y'all know I be in here sometimes just losing my damn mind. Ooh, I didn't say that. Losing my darn mind. I'll be in here just clicking this thing back and forth, back and forth. Y'all already know. So yes, this has become one of my little widget, fidget toys as well. So, you know, use it for power, use it to entertain yourself, whatever it's going to be. But there you go, from Ugreen. Now, another cool item from Ugreen, which is this guy right here. We looked at this a little bit earlier. This is a Ugreen power bank right here, guys. This guy, 25,000 milliamp hours, 145 watt hours. This guy has 2 USB-As, 1 USB-C, nice little LCD here on the side. Currently this is $74.99, $74.99. Richard says we have 40K likes. Yeah! All right, 40K likes, man. 40K likes over on Amazon. Thank you guys very much, very much. But anyway, this is a nice little portable battery. So if you guys want to check this out right now, you can get it here on Amazon for only $74.99. Now, my favorite new item when it comes to travel is this backpack right here. This is the Blue Yeti hands-free 1. There's also a hands-free 2. Now what's cool about this, you have all of this storage right up here up front, all these different pockets. You also have this large storage section inside. I even have this pull foam area for my drone. I can put my drone in here, my controller in here, my rechargeable batteries, cables, all of that kind of jazz. And the center piece right here, you can also throw some clothes in there. When I go out, maybe doing like some real estate photography, videography, and I'm going to be using a drone, I take a drone, a camera, a couple of lenses. All of them can fit inside of this backpack. Now, that alone would make you think, yes, Rome, that's an amazing backpack. And it is. But there is more. This guy, you see this little section right here where I'm sticking my hand through? Did I stick my hand through? Right here? Right here? Okay, what is that for? Let me show you. Let me show you. Let me get it. Oh my goodness, I got a bunch of stuff on top of it, but that's all right. I'll try not to knock anything over. Don't hold me to that. Uh-oh. All right, let me get it. Oh, nope. I got it. Okay, I got it. All right. So that would be this battery that you guys see right here. This is from Blue Yeti. It fits inside of that backpack. You have AC and DC power, so you got AC power here on the back, standard plug, universal plug for charging this guy. You can also charge this with a solar panel. On the front here, we have a little, a LCD screen. You also have AC power, DC power, 2 USB-Cs, 2 USB-As. You also have your little input right here where you can charge this with solar panels. This fits inside of the backpack, guys. Nice little portable handle. Now, this is not, it's not super lightweight, but it's not ridiculously heavy as well, okay? So this is gonna be great in case of an emergency. The power goes out if you're going camping, going to the beach like we're talking about before. No, it's not waterproof, but you can still use this to charge up some of your devices, play some music. Maybe you have an electric grill or something like that. You want to be able to power 300 watts from this guy. And you can have all of your other stuff in that backpack for yourself, family, friends, whatever it's going to be. And there you go. Grab yourself one of those little portable solar panels, and you pretty much got power for days on end, guys, because you can actually use this and charge this at the same time. Now, this entire kit is $429. I know that sounds like a lot, but once you invest into some of this tech, guys, it literally just pays for itself. Richard says right now there's a $30 off coupon. Wait a minute, wait. Let me make sure I got all this right. Richard says the Blue Yeti is now $356.10. He had to throw the 10 cents in there to be accurate. It has an exclusive promotional app that can be applied. That's going to take $42.90 off. And there's an additional, looks like $30 coupon that can be used at checkout as well. So, yes, you can get that entire kit, guys, the backpack, the whole 9 yards for $356.10. Alrighty then. Yeah. So, if you got your big, boom box out there, you need to charge this thing up. I'm telling you, because y'all already know we're gonna be out there at the lake. We're gonna be up in the woods, in the forests, in the mountains, in the caves, and we're gonna be rocking it out this summer, rocking it out this spring. Man, I'm telling you, bring your portable power. Do it. Don't forget. All right. Let's see what we got left, because it's time for me to go make dinner. Go make dinner. All right, we got one item left in the carousel. Now, those of you who are here all the time already know what I'm about to say about these drawstring backpacks. You can find them here on Amazon. You can find them in a lot of different, platforms, stores, things like that. The reason why I always include these drawstring backpacks here on Amazon, guys, is for one reason and one reason only. Yes, you can use these drawstring backpacks. You could use them as reusable shopping bags. You could use them as storage bags. You could use them as a day trip bag because they got the little drawstring, thing on here. Now, of course, myself, my motorcycle club, and a bunch of my other friends, we use these drawstring backpacks so that we can donate items to the homeless community, homeless individuals in our community. Also, we'll donate items to the women's shelter, and also now over the last few months to different pet shelters. So we buy a bunch of items right here on Amazon. We can get in bulk, like toothpaste, toothbrush, shampoo, conditioner, hand sanitizer, Band-Aids, pens, pencils, underwear, socks, deodorant. We buy you know, anything that we think that a person who is homeless would be able to benefit from, and put it all in one bag. So if we're rolling through, whether I'm on my motorcycle, if I'm driving up in my truck and I see somebody out there with a sign and they're asking for help, I just hand them one of these bags and I just get on with the get on. You know what I'm saying? I just get on down the road and do what I do, knowing that I've done some good in this world today. I try to do good every single day, and I try to encourage you guys as much as I possibly can to do the same, guys. Be a good human. Be a good human. Pay it forward. All right, y'all, it's time for me to wrap it up for the night, but I'll be back here. What day is it? Wednesday. I will be back here on Friday night. Friday night. We're going to be partying Friday night. But for tonight, it's about that time. Let's go. All right, my babies, stay safe out there, guys. Wash your hands, wear your mask when appropriate, take care of your loved ones, get out there and create something amazing each and every single day, my babies. Be that pebble in the pond, do good in the world, encourage others to do the same, and if nothing else, be a good human. Make sure you're following us on all of our social medias over on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Fly More. No, that's not a real platform. I just made that up. But yeah, follow us over on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Amazon, all those kind of cool places. And yeah, you know I love hanging out with you guys, and I try to bring you guys some amazing tech every single day. Create something new every stream. Tonight we created this cool little zebra. That's not the good one. I don't know where the good one went. Terry, where'd the good one go? Oh, there it is. So we made this zebra tonight out of some 3mm wood with the Laser Packer 5. Terry wanted a zebra for whatever reason. She wanted a zebra. So we found a zebra, we engraved the zebra, and we cut the zebra out of this 3mm wood. So I'm pretty sure Friday we'll be making something new. You know, we're making something new. If you guys saw any angel numbers today, go ahead and drop those down in the comments as well. Mine were 444 today, so let me go ahead and drop those over on Amazon. 444. Boom. There we go. Boom. Shakalaka. Boom, babies. All right, y'all. It's time for me to say them magic words. But before I go, don't forget to follow my man Richard over on TikTok. Richard, drop your link to TikTok over on YouTube, here on Facebook. Or you can not on Facebook. I got you on Facebook. So do it over there on Amazon and over on YouTube, so that everybody who's over on YouTube tonight can find you. And of course, everybody here on Amazon can find you as well. I'm telling you guys, follow Richard. You're gonna see some funny videos. Now, I mean, Richard's a good-hearted person, guys. He does a lot of videos for a lot of people in the community, especially a bunch of different influencers. You know, some of them are really nice and very warm and, you know, uplifting. And then there are my videos. So, you know. Then there are my videos. So, you know what I'm saying. But if you don't laugh, I'm telling you, it's something wrong with your heart if these videos do not make you laugh. Because I'm telling you, they make me chuckle. Every single time they make me chuckle. All right, y'all. Well, it's time for me to say them magic words. Magic words, y'all already know. If you're new, then get ready for the magic. Time for me to say them magic words. Peace, and blue muffin grease. I am out. Boom. I gotta go make dinner, y'all. So I am out of here. Mwah. Love my babies. I gotta go. Peace. I'm out.